Hi, my name is Ryan and I'm a shoe nerd, and curiosity got the best of me. I bought this pair of shoes all the way from China, and they look suspiciously like what I think is one of the best designed shoes ever made. In this video, I'll go over the unboxing, my initial thoughts, and my plan to see if these things really hold up. So I hope you enjoy the video. So first thing I want to say is this brand is Luosjiet, which is I think how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. But if you're new to this brand, what I would suggest you do is before you even watch this video, go to a YouTube channel called Welted Wear, where he does a great review of the same style boots with the same brand, and Dale's Leatherworks. So these YouTube channels are much better than what I can give you, but I believe everyone brings their own unique thoughts to this discussion, so I'll give you what mine are. I really started in the shoe world actually with Allen Edmonds. I've purchased over 40 pairs of Allen Edmonds, and I love Allen Edmonds. But recently my job, it started a little bit of a change the last couple of years, and I had a day where I could wear boots, and I would sometimes even have to go to a maintenance or a job site, so I would want to have a good pair of boots, which really sent me down the rabbit hole of nice, good quality boots. And the first Grail boot I had was the Alden Indies. I just thought they were the prettiest boots I had ever seen. So it took me a little bit, but I finally got my pair of Aldens, and really, I was just disappointed with them. I got 403s, and they still are great boots, but for the cost, and I knew this going into it, I'd already seen Rose Anvil's channel about the Indies, but still they just weren't worth keeping around, so I sold them and bought some other boots. And then I saw these come up, which were really interesting to me, but there was nothing online. There were no reviews, not a lot of pictures. It seemed like no one had them, and I didn't really know a lot about the company. I didn't know about the leather that they were made with, so I thought, you know what, why don't I just buy them and document my time with them? And if you're thinking of purchasing a pair like these or a different pair of shoes that they have listed online, you would know a little bit more about what you could expect. And to be completely honest with you, here as I'm inspecting the boot for the first time, I'm actually blown away with these shoes. The quality, they look fantastic. They're actually heavier than my Red Wing Iron Rangers. The leather is thick, it's beautiful. I'm really surprised by how nice they are. But then again, first impressions aren't everything, especially when it comes to a nice pair of shoes. So we'll kind of look in deeper to see what type of flaws are in this pair of boots. I'll finish up the unboxing now, and then we'll focus in on some of the more important details of the shoe. The first thing I'm going to do is examine the welt and the stitching of the boot, and I have to say the welt is really nicely done. This storm welt, and even how the joint there is just really nice. It's got a high stitch per inch. The MocToe stitching is really tight, really good. Again, I'm kind of blown away with how well this boot is put together, especially for the price. I think I paid around $240 with a 10% discount or 5%. Everything out the door was about $229, and this pair of boots is well worth that. It's worth more from what I'm seeing here. Now, if the leather completely falls apart, that's another story. Like, look how thick this leather is on the back. This is one of the thickest leathers I probably have, and I have a pair of whites boots, but I actually think these are thicker. And the stitches here on the sole are really nice, really tight. Sorry for the camera, I'm terrible at this whole YouTube thing. And even the sole is a lot beefier, heavier, and even softer than I initially thought from the pictures. While I'm unlacing the boot to show you the insole, one thing I've noticed is that it doesn't seem like the edges are skived down. And if you need to know more about this, you'll have to find another YouTube video. But the edges are thick, and on the other boots I own, they seem to be skived down. And I kind of like this, but it makes for a very thick leather, a very thick edge, and you'll just have to see if that's something you like or dislike. And what I was showing you moments before was the hardware, which is really good quality. I actually think this is the same hardware that comes with the White's MP Sherman boots that I own. So again, kind of blown away at this point. You'll see the stitching on the welt, how thick the leather is, and there's the thick veg tan insole with a heel insole. I forgot what that's called, with the Luosjiet logo that says handmade boots. So just a really nice, well put together boot, and this color is really pretty. It's a little bit more casual, but a very nice looking boot. Now here I did spot a flaw. There's the joint for that storm welt. You can see it there. I'm sure these things come in rolls and there's joints all over them. Most companies will not put the joint in the shoe, but they did. But the joint here looks fantastic. It's better than my Alden 403s. Here's a little demonstration of the pull-up leather. Again, the leather looks high quality, but this is really what I want to see. I want to see over the long haul, how does this leather hold up? Because right now, in my opinion, is that this is an amazing value, an amazing pair of boots, but if the leather really looks terrible after a couple of wears, then they're not going to be worth even the $220 that they cost. I'll put them on for you and show them with a couple pairs of pants just to help you see how they look. Again, the laces and the hardware are really good quality. And so far, to be honest, these boots are a 10 out of 10. And not just for the price, but they are really high quality. And I'm going to put these through the ringer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wear these as much as I can, and I'm going to do updates on them so you can see how they break in. As you may know, the refund or the return on these is terrible. I think you have to pay $80 plus the shipping to return them, so it's like they don't have any return policy. So that's why I'm going to do a lot of videos on these so you can really see what you get. If they're good, that's awesome. If they're terrible, I'm going to tell you. I'm actually going to be going on a trip to the French Riviera at the end of the month. This is April 2024. And I'm going to use these. I'm going to hike in these. I'm going to try to beat these up. And I'm going to give you an update along the way so that you can see how these really stack up against not only the regular Alden Indies, but any boot that you're thinking about purchasing at this $200 price range. A thought I'm interested in hearing your opinions on is how ethical is buying this pair of boots. I have a lot of experience with product design. I worked for a company doing product design, and I've also worked with companies in America and in China, and I've seen how they operate, and I've seen what it's like to design a product and to sell a product. And so I know some will think it's unethical to do this because it seems like a copy of the Alden Indies, but the reality is it's just heavily, and I mean heavily, inspired by the Alden Indies. There are no logos that state these are Aldens. They're their own brand that has designed a boot that looks almost identical. With this in mind, let me know your opinion on this, and if you'd like me to make a video sharing my experience with doing product design in a saturated market and how I can relate it to these Luosjiet Indie boots. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to model them around. I'll go over a couple still pictures and let you kind of see what these boots look like, and I'll be giving you an update shortly on how the leather is breaking in. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in a bit.